A man in glasses, Dr. Lee, leaned forward. Listen, Anna. You have two choices. 1, we call immigration, and you're deported back to Nigeria. 2, you help us. Anna's throat was dry. Help you? How? Dr. Lee gestured to a sleek, lifeless robot on the table. It had her face, her body, in eerie replica. Our biggest client, Kim Jun, expects this robot to be delivered in a few days. But we've hit a complication. We need more time to fix it. Until then, you will act as the robot. Anna stood at the airport terminal in Lagos, her heart pounding as she clutched a small suitcase, the last of her belongings. The air smelled of gasoline and rain, an odd mix of hope and desperation. She adjusted the scarf on her head, hiding her trembling hands. Across from her, Officer Chaik leaned against a pillar, arms folded. His dark eyes held no warmth, only calculation. He had promised her everything: a visa, a work permit, a dream job in Korea. All she had to do was pay. Everything is set, he murmured, passing her a forged boarding pass. She hesitated. And when I get there, someone will meet me? Yes, he said too quickly. Just get on the plane. Anna swallowed hard. This was her last chance. She had fought for years, job applications, interviews, endless rejection. She had sold her mother's jewelry, borrowed from friends, scraped together every naira for this moment. So she boarded the flight. And when she landed in Incheon International Airport, blinking at the bright city lights and foreign signs, she waited. And waited. No one came. Within hours, her money was gone. Within days, she was sleeping under a bridge, cold and hungry. The dream had died before it even began. Until the Gova team found her. And they didn't offer kindness. They offered a deal. Anna sat stiffly in a cold metal chair, staring at the people who had found her. The warehouse smelled of burnt wires and metal, filled with half-assembled machines and blinking lights. She looks exactly like the prototype, one of the scientists muttered. This could work. A man in glasses, Dr. Lee, leaned forward. Listen, Anna. You have two choices. 1, we call immigration, and you're deported back to Nigeria. 2, you help us. Anna's throat was dry. Help you? How? Dr. Lee gestured to a sleek, lifeless robot on the table. It had her face, her body, in eerie replica. Our biggest client, Kim Jun, expects this robot to be delivered in a few days. But we've hit a complication. We need more time to fix it. Until then, you will act as the robot. Follow instructions. Do not reveal yourself. And in exchange, you'll get me identification papers, Anna finished for him. Yes, Dr. Lee confirmed. And payment. A lot of it. Her mind raced. Pretend to be a robot? Deceive a billionaire? It was insane. But what choice did she have? Fine, she whispered. And that was how Anna found herself standing in Kim Jun's mansion, dressed in a sleek, silver jumpsuit, her hair tied back, her face emotionless as the billionaire approached her. Tall, imposing, gorgeous, ice-cold eyes. Kim Jun studied her. Turn around, he ordered. Anna obeyed. Walk forward. She did. Say something intelligent. Anna paused. Define intelligence, she said carefully. Kim Jun's lips twitched. Interesting. Gova has outdone themselves. If only he knew. And so, Anna became his robot. And slowly, dangerously, she began to fall for him. Anna stood still in the grand entrance of Kim Jun's mansion, suppressing the urge to gape. The place was enormous. High ceilings, walls lined with sleek digital panels, and a glass staircase that spiraled upwards like something out of a futuristic dream. It was pristine, almost too perfect, as if no one truly lived here. Kim Jun's voice snapped her out of her daze. You will follow my rules, he said, his cold gaze appraising her. I don't tolerate disobedience. Anna nodded stiffly, keeping her movements robotic. Rule number 1, he continued, stepping closer. You will respond only when spoken to. No unnecessary interactions. Anna kept her face blank, but inwardly, her heart pounded. No unnecessary interactions? How was she supposed to blend in if she wasn't even allowed to speak unless spoken to? Rule number 2. You will not leave the mansion under any circumstances. That was fine. She had nowhere to go anyway. Rule number 3. His voice was even, but there was a quiet authority in it. You are to be fully operational at all times. No errors. No faults. No strange behavior. Anna swallowed. That one would be tricky. Understood. She nodded once. Understood, Master Kim Jun. He frowned slightly. No one programmed you to say that. Gova doesn't include honorifics in their models. Anna froze. Had she already made a mistake? Quickly, she calculated a response. Correction applied. Would you prefer an alternative form of address? Kim Jun studied her for a moment before shaking his head. Never mind. Just follow my rules. He turned, walking deeper into the house. Anna exhaled slowly before following, her steps measured, her movements precise. She would have to be careful. Anna was assigned a sleek, minimalistic room. Too white, too empty, just like the rest of the house. The Gova team had sent over a program tablet that she was to use for instructions. Her first task? Wake up before Kim Jun. Her second? Be present during his morning routines, silent and waiting in case he needed assistance. Her third? Observe, but never interrupt. Anna didn't sleep that night. Instead, she lay on the bed, eyes open, forcing herself into stillness, pretending to be powered down in case there were cameras watching. When the house's smart system activated at precisely 5:30 a.m., she was already up, standing near the door, waiting. At exactly 5:45 a.m., Kim Jun emerged from his bedroom. His black silk robe hung loosely around his frame, his dark hair tousled. He paused when he saw her standing there. A flicker of something crossed his face. Annoyance? Curiosity? You're punctual, he muttered, rubbing his temples as he walked past her. I suppose that's one benefit of an AI. Anna resisted the urge to snort. If only he knew. She followed him to the kitchen, where a digital coffee machine had already begun brewing. Kim Jun grabbed a cup, took a sip, and exhaled. Anna remained motionless. Then, without looking at her, he spoke. What's your designation? Anna hesitated. The Gova team hadn't given her a specific name for the robot. Think fast. Designation. And 01. Kim Jun nodded slowly. Logical. Gova loves their acronyms. Anna mentally sighed in relief. He continued drinking his coffee, scrolling through his tablet. She stood silently, waiting. Then, he spoke again. And 01, define the concept of trust. Anna blinked. Was this a test? She recited, keeping her voice monotone. Trust is the firm belief in the reliability, truth, or ability of someone or something. Kim Jun hummed. And do you believe trust is necessary? Anna hesitated. Clarify, in what context? He finally looked at her, his sharp gaze piercing. In human relationships. The air in the room felt heavier. Anna chose her words carefully. Trust is fundamental for relationships to function. However, humans often fail to uphold it. Kim Jun let out a short laugh, cold, bitter. You're more advanced than I expected. Anna remained still, but her heart clenched. This man had clearly been betrayed before. Kim Jun placed his empty cup on the counter and straightened his robe. That's all for now. You may power down or whatever it is you do. She nodded once. Understood. As he walked away, Anna allowed herself the smallest exhale. She had survived the first morning, but something told her that fooling Kim Jun wouldn't be easy. Kim Jun wasn't an easy man to deceive. Anna realized this by the third day of playing her role as N01. The billionaire was methodical in everything he did, his routine, his observations, the way he analyzed everything with an almost inhuman precision. It made sense why he preferred machines over people. They were predictable, programmable, and if Anna made even the smallest mistake, she was sure he would notice. Her first close call happened at breakfast. The morning routine had become familiar, Wake before Kim Jun, stand by silently as he drank his coffee, and respond only when prompted. But today, something was different. Kim Jun sat at the long, marble dining table, his eyes not on his tablet as usual, but on her. "You haven't malfunctioned once," he said, tapping his fingers against his mug. "No errors, no miscalculations. Not even a single lag in response time." Anna kept her expression blank. "Is that an issue, Master Kim Jun?" He frowned slightly. "No, it's impressive. Too impressive." Her stomach clenched. Kim Jun leaned back in his chair, studying her. Most AI prototypes, no matter how advanced, have occasional glitches. But you. He tilted his head. You react differently. Anna forced herself to maintain perfect stillness, though her pulse quickened. Had she been too natural? Too human? Explain, he continued. What makes you different from Gova's previous models? Anna hesitated. If she spoke too robotically, it might make him suspicious. But if she spoke too naturally, he might detect something was off. She carefully responded, "My model is equipped with advanced deep learning capabilities and emotional adaptability. My responses are designed to improve with exposure." Kim Jun smirked slightly. "So you evolve." Anna inclined her head. In a manner of speaking, yes. He took another sip of his coffee. Interesting. The way he said it sent chills down her spine. She had passed his test for now. Later that day, Kim Jun had a meeting in his home office. Anna had no official orders to be there, but she was instructed to remain on standby for any requests. She stood near the bookshelf, still as a statue, while two men in business suits discussed company strategies with Kim Jun. "Sir, the investors want more transparency in the AI division," one of them said. "There are concerns about Gova's secrecy." Kim Jun exhaled sharply. They don't need to understand it. They just need to see results. The conversation continued, but Anna remained in her own thoughts. She had assumed Kim Jun was merely a client of Gova, but the way he spoke about them, it sounded like he had deeper involvement. And then it happened. One of the men gestured too wildly, knocking over a glass of water. The contents spilled across the table, heading straight for a set of important-looking documents. Without thinking, Anna rushed forward, grabbed a napkin, and swiftly wiped the papers before the water could ruin them. The room went silent. She froze. Slowly, she turned to face Kim Jun, who was staring at her with narrowed eyes. "And 01, he said, voice low, "who told you to do that?" Anna swallowed. "Protocol dictates preservation of valuable assets." Kim Jun's gaze didn't waver. "No. Gova's AI models don't react without direct orders. They're programmed to wait for commands." Anna's hands curled at her sides. She had acted too human. Again. The two businessmen looked between them, confused. "Sir, is there an issue?" one of them asked. Kim Jun didn't answer right away. His piercing gaze remained locked on Anna. After a long pause, he finally said, "No. No issue." But the way he kept looking at her told her otherwise. That evening, as Anna finished arranging the books in the study, another unnecessary task she had pretended to analyze as a productivity measure, Kim Jun walked in. He wasn't in his usual sharp suit. Instead, he had changed into a black turtleneck and slacks, looking less like a cold-hearted CEO and more like a man lost in thought. "You're not just some ordinary machine, are you?" he asked without preamble. Anna's hands froze over a book spine. She turned slowly. "Clarify your question, Master Kim Jun." He studied her carefully. "You react before you're told to. You listen even when I don't give commands. And I can't shake the feeling that there's something." He trailed off, then exhaled, rubbing the back of his neck. "Never mind. Maybe I'm overthinking it." Anna saw the exhaustion in his eyes. For a moment, he looked human, too. Not the intimidating billionaire everyone feared, but a man who had lost faith in people. She wanted to ask why, but she couldn't. So instead, she responded in the only way she could. "Would you like me to power down for the night?" Kim Jun hesitated. Then, he shook his head. "No, just stay." "Stay?" Anna wasn't sure if he was talking to her as An01 or as something else. Either way, she obeyed. And that night, Kim Jun sat at his desk, working late into the hours of dawn. And Anna, silent and unmoving, watched over him. Anna stood by the bookshelf in Kim Jun's study, her posture stiff, her face blank, practicing the perfect illusion of an emotionless robot. Yet inside, her mind raced. Kim Jun was beginning to suspect her. She had managed to cover her slip-ups so far, but his sharp gaze lingered on her longer now. He wasn't the kind of man who ignored inconsistencies. He dissected them, analyzed them, found their flaws. She couldn't afford another mistake. Kim Jun sat at his desk, working in silence. The blue glow of his tablet illuminated his sharp features, casting shadows over his chiseled jawline. His fingers tapped rhythmically against the screen as he reviewed documents, his brows furrowed in deep thought. Anna could tell when he was fully focused because the rest of the world seemed to disappear for him. The noise outside, the notifications on his phone, none of it mattered when he was absorbed in his work. After a while, he exhaled sharply and leaned back in his chair. In 01. Anna straightened, her voice smooth. Yes, Master Kim Jun? He tapped his fingers on the desk. Come here. She walked toward him with mechanical precision, stopping exactly 3 feet away from his desk. He studied her, his gaze unreadable. Then he spoke again. What do you think about humans? The question caught her off guard. She paused for a fraction of a second, too long for a real robot. She quickly recovered. Clarify the parameters of your question. Kim Jun tilted his head slightly. I mean exactly what I asked. Do you think humans are reliable? Anna knew this was another test. She had to choose her words carefully. Humans are complex creatures, she said evenly. They are capable of great intelligence, yet prone to emotional instability. Their decision-making is often influenced by irrational factors. Kim Jun let out a dry chuckle. That sounds about right. His gaze darkened slightly. Humans are selfish. They betray, they manipulate. They always have hidden agendas. His jaw tightened as if remembering something bitter. That's why I prefer machines. No lies. No deception. Anna swallowed hard. Kim Jun wasn't just suspicious of her. He was suspicious of people in general. And that made him even more dangerous. The conversation ended, but something had shifted in the air between them. Anna remained silent, watching as Kim Jun returned to his work, his fingers moving swiftly over the tablet screen. An hour passed, then 2. Anna remained standing, motionless. Finally, Kim Jun exhaled and rubbed his temples. Enough for tonight, he muttered. He glanced at the digital clock on his desk. It was past 2 a.m. He stood and stretched, rolling his shoulders. As he moved past her, he paused. His eyes flicked toward her feet, then back to her face. You don't power down, do you? Anna hesitated. I remain on standby mode until needed. He frowned slightly. And you just stand there? Yes. Kim Jun studied her for a long moment. Then, to her surprise, he muttered, almost under his breath, that's unsettling. He turned away, but after 2 steps, he stopped again. You don't need to stand all night, he said, almost awkwardly. Sit. Or, do whatever you do when I don't need you. Anna blinked. Was he showing concern? It wasn't much. Barely even a kindness. But for a man who distrusted humans, it was something. Understood, she responded neutrally, walking toward the nearest chair and sitting down carefully. Kim Jun didn't say anything else. He simply walked toward his room, leaving her alone in the dimly lit study. Anna exhaled slowly. She had spent years fighting to survive. She had been betrayed, abandoned, lied to. And yet, standing in this cold mansion, pretending to be something she wasn't, she realized something unexpected. Kim Jun might not trust humans. But maybe, just maybe, he was the loneliest one of all. The next morning, Anna woke, or rather, pretended to wake before Kim Jun. Her mind replayed their conversation from the night before. The way he had studied her, questioned her, almost as if he were trying to find a flaw in her existence. She needed to be more careful. By the time Kim Jun entered the dining room, dressed in a crisp suit, his usual unreadable expression in place, Anna was already standing in her designated spot near the dining table. The automated kitchen had prepared his usual breakfast: black coffee, buttered toast, and a soft-boiled egg. He sat down, taking a sip of coffee without a word. Anna remained motionless, waiting. For the first few minutes, there was silence. Then, Kim Jun set his cup down and looked at her. "I had a dream last night." Anna blinked. The statement was unexpected. He wasn't speaking to her as a machine. He was speaking to someone who could listen. "What was the nature of your dream?" she asked, keeping her tone neutral. Kim Jun's fingers tapped lightly against the table. "It was about my mother." Anna hadn't expected that. She had no information about Kim Jun's personal life beyond what was public knowledge: his success, his empire, his reputation. But his family? That was a mystery. He leaned back in his chair, staring at his coffee. "She used to tell me that people weren't born cruel. That circumstances make them that way." Anna remained silent, sensing that he wasn't looking for a response. A strange look flickered across his face. She was wrong, though. Anna hesitated before saying, "Clarify." Kim Jun's lips curled into a bitter smile. "Some people are born cruel. No matter what you do, no matter how much you give them, they will betray you." His fingers tightened around his coffee cup. "Even if they say they love you." Something in his voice made Anna's chest tighten. For a moment, she forgot her role. Forgot that she was supposed to be nothing more than an advanced AI. "Not everyone is like that," she found herself saying. Kim Jun's sharp gaze snapped to her. Anna immediately regretted speaking. She had made a mistake. She had responded in a way no robot would. There was a long pause. Then, to her surprise, Kim Jun let out a quiet chuckle. "I didn't program you to be optimistic and 01. Anna quickly corrected herself. "My programming allows me to analyze multiple perspectives. Some humans are capable of loyalty and kindness." Kim Jun studied her, his expression unreadable. Then, he simply shook his head. "You sound almost human when you say that." Her heart pounded. She had to be more careful. Later that evening, Anna was following Kim Jun to his home office when the security system alerted an incoming guest. Kim Jun frowned at his tablet screen before sighing. "Stay here." He walked toward the main entrance, leaving Anna standing in the hallway. Curious, she tilted her head slightly, listening. The doors opened, and a familiar voice echoed through the grand hallway. "June, you weren't answering my calls." Anna's breath hitched. The voice belonged to a woman. A voice smooth and confident, filled with familiarity. She risked stepping closer, just enough to see. Standing at the entrance was a stunning woman dressed in an elegant, tailored outfit, her long brown hair cascading over her shoulders. She had the kind of presence that could command any room. Kim Jun didn't look pleased to see her. "What do you want, Yumi?" he asked, his voice cool. Anna's mind immediately processed the name. Yumi, the woman the media had once speculated was Kim Jun's first love. "I heard you were avoiding the investors again," Yumi said with a smirk. "And I know you too well to believe you're just busy." Kim Jun exhaled sharply. "I have no interest in revisiting the past." Yumi's expression softened. "June, we were supposed to get engaged." Anna's heart clenched. So the rumors had been true. Kim Jun crossed his arms. "And yet, you left." Yumi sighed, stepping closer. "I made a mistake." Her voice was quieter now. "I shouldn't have left you when I did." Anna knew she shouldn't be listening. She knew she should return to her station and pretend to power down. But she couldn't move. Because for the first time since she met him, Kim Jun didn't look like the ruthless billionaire everyone feared. He looked like a man struggling between anger and something much deeper, something more painful. And for reasons she didn't fully understand, Anna hated that he had to feel that way. Anna stood motionless in the hallway, her mind racing as she watched the scene unfold between Kim Jun and Yumi. She had seen Kim Jun in many moods, cold, calculating, distant. But this was different. His usual indifference had been replaced by something else. Something raw. Yumi took a step closer to him. Jun, I know I hurt you. I left because I was scared. I wasn't ready back then. Kim Jun's jaw clenched. And now you are? Yes. She smiled sadly. I've had time to think. To realize what I lost. Anna felt something unfamiliar stir in her chest. She didn't know what it was. Jealousy? No, that would be ridiculous. She wasn't even supposed to have emotions. But the way Yumi looked at Kim Jun, the way he was struggling not to look back, made something tighten inside her. Jun, Yumi whispered, I still love you. A thick silence filled the space between them. Anna clenched her fists. What was Kim Jun going to say? Was he going to accept her back? For a long moment, Kim Jun didn't move. Then, in a voice colder than ice, he finally spoke. Love. His lips twisted into something bitter. You used that word too easily. Yumi blinked, taken aback. Jun. You left. He cut her off, his voice firm. You left because I wasn't enough for you. Now that you regret it, you think you can just walk back into my life. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, Yumi admitted. But if you'd just give me a chance. There are no second chances, Kim Jun said flatly. Yumi's eyes glistened, but she straightened her shoulders. You can pretend all you want, but I know you still care. Kim Jun's silence was answer enough. After a long pause, Yumi sighed. I'll be back, Jun. You might not want to believe it, but I know you don't hate me. With that, she turned and walked away. Kim Jun stood still for a moment before exhaling sharply. He ran a hand through his hair, as if trying to shake off the weight of the conversation. Then, as if suddenly remembering Anna's presence, his gaze snapped to her. Anna immediately straightened. Do you require anything, Master Kim Jun? His eyes narrowed slightly, as if debating whether or not to acknowledge the fact that she had witnessed everything. But instead of addressing it, he simply muttered, prepare the study. I have work to do. Understood. As he walked past her, Anna could sense the tension in his body. Kim Jun was a man who never let emotions control him. But Yumi's presence had shaken him, and Anna hated that it did. The days that followed were tense. Kim Jun buried himself in work, his focus sharper than ever. But there was an edge to him, a restlessness that wasn't there before. And Anna. Anna felt something strange happening to her. She was supposed to be a machine, void of emotions. But she wasn't. Every time Yumi called, every time Kim Jun seemed lost in thought, every time his gaze lingered somewhere distant, Anna felt something twist inside her. She was jealous. And that terrified her. One evening, as she was organizing the books in Kim Jun's study, he suddenly spoke. Do you think people can change? Anna paused, turning toward him. Define the parameters of change. He let out a short, humorless laugh. Of course. You'd answer like that. She hesitated. Are you referring to Yumi? Kim Jun's gaze sharpened. You're observant, aren't you? I am programmed to analyze behavioral patterns. His lips twitched slightly. Is that so? He leaned back in his chair, studying her. Then tell me, do you think people who betray others deserve second chances? Anna considered her response carefully. Humans are flawed. Mistakes are inevitable. However, forgiveness is a choice. It depends on whether the betrayed party is willing to let go of their past pain. Kim Jun exhaled. So you're saying it's up to me? Anna nodded. Yes. For a moment, he just stared at her. Then, suddenly, he stood and walked toward her. She didn't move as he stopped mere inches away. You're different from the other AI models, he murmured, his eyes locked onto hers. Sometimes, I forget you're not human. Anna's pulse quickened. Kim Jun's gaze lingered for a moment longer before he finally stepped back. Forget it, he muttered, turning away. You're just a machine. But deep down, Anna knew that neither of them believed that anymore. And that was dangerous. Very dangerous. Days turned into weeks, and Anna found herself more entangled in Kim Jun's life than she ever expected. She had learned his habits, how he liked his coffee bitter and his workspace meticulously organized. She knew the way his eyes darkened when he was deep in thought, the way he clenched his jaw when something irritated him. And worse, she had learned the moments when he was truly vulnerable. Every night, After he had retreated to his room, she would hear him pacing. He barely slept. Yumi's presence had stirred something in him, whether he admitted it or not. And yet, Anna could also sense that he didn't trust her. The truth was, Kim Jun didn't trust anyone, except, perhaps, his machines. And she was pretending to be one. One evening, as Anna was adjusting the settings in Kim Jun's private office, he suddenly looked up from his laptop. "I need you to come with me tomorrow." Anna turned toward him. "Where?" "An investors' gathering," he said flatly. "I require a companion. I don't trust anyone else." A flicker of something strange twisted inside her. He didn't trust anyone else. "Understood," she said. "What role am I expected to play?" He smirked slightly. "The same one you've been playing since you arrived. A perfect, obedient companion." Anna should have been relieved. This was her role, after all. But something about the way he said it made her chest tighten. He saw her as a machine. And yet, the way his gaze lingered on her, the way his voice softened sometimes when he spoke to her, he was struggling, just as she was. The next evening, Anna accompanied Kim Jun to an exclusive investors' gala at one of Seoul's most luxurious hotels. She wore a sleek, silver gown chosen by Kim Jun's assistant, its fabric shimmering under the chandeliers. Her hair was pinned up in an elegant style, making her look more robotic, more artificial, just as the Gova team had instructed. Kim Jun walked beside her, his presence commanding the room effortlessly. People whispered as they passed. Is that his new AI companion? Leave it to Kim Jun to replace people with machines. He truly doesn't trust anyone, does he? Anna kept her face neutral, pretending not to hear. Kim Jun ignored the comments, but she saw the flicker of irritation in his eyes. Halfway through the event, Yumi appeared. Dressed in a deep red gown, she was a vision of confidence and charm. "Jun," she greeted, her voice warm. "You look sharp tonight." His expression remained cold. "What do you want?" She smiled, unfazed. "Can I say hello?" Her gaze shifted to Anna, her eyes gleaming with curiosity. "And this must be your new project?" Anna gave a polite nod. "And 01 at your service." Yumi tilted her head. It's impressive how lifelike she is. Almost too lifelike. Kim Jun's expression didn't change. "She's not a person, Yumi. Just a machine." Something inside Anna cracked. She had always known that was how he saw her. But hearing him say it aloud, in front of Yumi, felt like a punch to the gut. "Of course," Yumi said, smirking. "I forgot. You prefer things that don't talk back. Things that don't betray you." Kim Jun's jaw tightened. "We're done here." He turned, guiding Anna away. But even as they walked past the murmuring crowd, Anna couldn't shake the strange, sinking feeling inside her. Because at that moment, she realized something terrifying. She wasn't just pretending anymore. She was feeling. And if Kim Jun ever found out the truth, she wasn't sure if he would forgive her or destroy her. The car ride back to the mansion was silent. Anna sat beside Kim Jun in the back seat, her hands resting neatly on her lap, her expression composed. On the outside, she was the perfect machine. On the inside, she was drowning. Kim Jun's words from earlier echoed in her mind. She's not a person, just a machine. She shouldn't care. She was playing a role after all. Pretending to be a robot was the only way she could survive. She had no right to feel hurt. And yet, the ache in her chest wouldn't go away. Kim Jun, on the other hand, looked utterly unaffected. He stared out the window, his fingers tapping lightly against his knee, his expression unreadable. Finally, Anna broke the silence. "Did the gathering meet your expectations?" Kim Jun didn't look at her. It was predictable. As always. A pause. "Yumi seemed interested in you," Anna observed carefully. Kim Jun exhaled sharply, his jaw tightening. Yumi is always interested in things she can't control. Anna hesitated. "Do you still have feelings for her?" The question hung in the air. For a long moment, Kim Jun didn't answer. Then, finally, he turned to her, his dark eyes piercing. "Why do you care?" Anna's breath caught. Why did she care? She scrambled for an answer, one that would make sense coming from a machine. I am programmed to assess human behavior. Emotional attachments affect decision-making. Kim Jun's gaze lingered on her, searching. You always say the right things, don't you? He murmured. Anna forced a small nod. It is my function. Kim Jun studied her for a long moment before looking away. Me is my past, he said, almost to himself. And I don't live in the past. Anna should have felt relieved. But something about the way he said it, it felt like he was convincing himself more than anyone else. That night, Anna returned to her station near the bookshelf in Kim Jun's study. She told herself she wasn't thinking about him. She told herself that the tightness in her chest was nothing. But when Kim Jun walked into the room, something shifted. He had loosened his tie, his shirt slightly unbuttoned, his usual controlled demeanor replaced with something almost tired. Without a word, he walked to the bar cart in the corner of the room and poured himself a glass of whiskey. Anna watched him carefully. After a long sip, he turned to her. You don't need to stand all night. She hesitated. You previously stated that my presence was unsettling when I remained motionless. A ghost of a smirk touched his lips. It still is. But I don't see the point in having you act like a statue if I'm the only one in the room. Anna's fingers twitched at her sides. Would you prefer I power down? Kim Jun studied her for a moment. Then, without answering, he walked past her, grabbing a book from the shelf. Sit, he finally said. Just sit. Anna obeyed, cautiously lowering herself onto one of the armchairs. For a while, there was only silence. Kim Jun sat across from her, flipping through his book. The amber liquid in his glass caught the light as he swirled it absent-mindedly. Anna expected him to send her away, but he didn't. He just let her stay. And somehow, that small gesture felt more intimate than anything else. She was no longer just an object in the room. She was something more. And that was dangerous, because the closer she got to him, the harder it would be to keep pretending. The following morning, Anna found herself facing an unusual problem. Kim Jun was watching her. Not in the casual way he usually observed things, nor with the cold calculation he often reserved for business deals. No, this was different. His gaze lingered, assessing, almost suspicious. Anna kept her expression neutral as she arranged the documents on his desk. Do you require assistance, Master Kim Jun? He didn't respond immediately. Instead, he leaned back in his chair, fingers tapping against the polished wood. How advanced is your AI and 01? Anna's hands froze for half a second before she resumed moving. My programming is designed for human interaction at an optimal level. I adapt based on behavioral data and environment. Kim Jun's lips curved slightly. And yet, you seem to have preferences. A warning bell rang in Anna's head. Elaborate. Kim Jun tilted his head. You react differently to certain situations. For example, when Yumi spoke to me, your posture changed. Your responses were more cautious. He was testing her. Anna's mind worked fast. I analyze situations in real time to provide appropriate responses. Your history with Yumi suggested a complex emotional interaction requiring adaptation. Kim Jun hummed. And when I asked if people deserve second chances? Anna met his gaze. I provided a logical response. Something flickered in his eyes. Something unreadable. You always have the perfect answers, he murmured. It's almost unsettling. Anna forced a slight bow of her head. That is my purpose. Kim Jun didn't look convinced. Later that afternoon, Kim Jun received a call that seemed to put him in a foul mood. We're attending a charity gala tonight, he announced abruptly. Anna blinked. Is my presence required? He sighed, running a hand through his hair. The investors expect me to show up, and I need someone to filter out unnecessary conversations. His gaze met hers. You'll do. Anna felt something shift inside her. He was choosing her, not because she was a machine, not because she was a programmed assistant, but because he trusted her. She wasn't sure if that made things better or worse. That evening, Anna was dressed in another sleek gown, this time a deep blue that contrasted against Kim Jun's sharp black suit. When they arrived at the venue, all eyes were on them. People whispered as they passed. Kim Jun brought his AI again? Does he really prefer machines over people? Anna ignored them, but Kim Jun's expression darkened. He never cared about public opinion, so why did he seem irritated now? As they moved through the hall, a familiar voice interrupted them. Jun. Yumi. She was standing near the champagne table, wearing a delicate ivory dress that made her look effortlessly elegant. Kim Jun's body stiffened beside Anna. You're following me now? He asked coldly. Yumi laughed lightly. Don't be ridiculous. It's a charity event. We happen to be in the same circles. Her gaze flickered to Anna, and your AI is still as stunning as ever. Anna remained silent, waiting. Kim Jun's lips curled into a smirk. Jealous? Yumi tilted her head. Should I be? Kim Jun didn't answer, but the tension between them was thick enough to suffocate. And for the first time, Anna realized something dangerous. Kim Jun might have closed himself off from Yumi, but there was still history between them. And history had a way of creeping back when least expected. Later in the evening, as the gala continued, an unexpected announcement was made. The next dance is open to all attendees. Please take your partners to the floor. Anna turned to Kim Jun, expecting him to dismiss the idea entirely. Instead, he extended his hand toward her. Let's go. Anna hesitated. Is this necessary? Kim Jun smirked. You need to keep up the act, don't you? She placed her hand in his, trying to ignore the way his warmth sent a shiver through her. As he led her onto the dance floor, Anna was hyper-aware of everything. The firm grip of his hand, the way his other hand rested lightly against her waist, the scent of his cologne. You're stiff, Kim Jun murmured. I am programmed for many functions, she replied, but dancing was not a priority. His lips twitched. You're full of surprises. Anna swallowed. If only he knew. As they moved in sync with the music, she couldn't help but glance toward Yumi. The woman was watching them, and she did not look pleased. Kim Jun followed her gaze and smirked. She hates losing. Anna looked back at him. Is this a game? Kim Jun's expression turned unreadable. It always is. But for Anna, it was becoming something much more dangerous. She was losing herself in the act. And if she wasn't careful, she wouldn't just be pretending to be a machine. She'd be pretending not to love him. The ride back from the gala was silent, but this time, it wasn't the kind of silence Anna found comforting. Kim Jun sat beside her, his gaze distant as he scrolled through his phone. He hadn't spoken a word since they left the ballroom, but his grip on the device was tight, his jaw clenched. Anna knew what had caused the shift. Yumi. Something about their interaction tonight had unsettled him, and Anna hated that it mattered to her. Was the event a success? She asked finally, breaking the tension. Kim Jun didn't glance up. Does it matter? Anna kept her tone neutral. Public appearances impact business relations. He exhaled sharply, locking his phone. Everything impacts business relations. His gaze flickered to her. Even you. Anna stiffened. Clarify. Kim Jun's lips curled slightly. Investors are fascinated by you. They think I've created the perfect companion. A strange sensation twisted in her chest. Of course they did. That was the whole point, wasn't it? She was supposed to be nothing more than a creation. A lifeless, soulless machine. And yet, do you believe that? She asked before she could stop herself. Kim Jun's gaze lingered on her, his eyes dark and unreadable. I believe, he said slowly, that you are a very good liar. The car came to a halt outside the mansion, but neither of them moved. Anna forced a calm expression. Lying is not within my function. Kim Jun studied her, as if searching for something beneath the surface. Then, with a smirk that didn't quite reach his eyes, he opened the door and stepped out. Anna exhaled shakily before following him inside. She didn't know what was more dangerous, his growing suspicion or the fact that, for the first time, she didn't want to lie to him. Later that night, Anna sat in the dimly lit study, staring at the fireplace. Her emotions were spiraling, and she hated it. She had spent weeks perfecting her role, learning how to mimic the precision of a machine, but tonight, she had felt human. The way Kim Jun had looked at her on the dance floor. The way his fingers had lingered against her waist. The way his voice had softened when he asked if she was lying. It was breaking her defenses. And she couldn't let that happen. "You're awake." Anna turned sharply to see Kim Jun standing in the doorway. His shirt was slightly unbuttoned, his hair a little tousled, as if he had been running his hands through it. "Sleep mode is optional," she said carefully. Kim Jun leaned against the doorframe, studying her. "You're not as robotic as you pretend to be." Anna's breath hitched, but she forced herself to remain still. "Explain." He took a slow step forward. "You react to things. You hesitate before answering sometimes. And tonight, on the dance floor, you were nervous." She swallowed. "I am programmed to adapt to human emotions." Kim Jun shook his head. "That's not it." He moved closer until he was only inches from her. "You feel things," he murmured. "Don't you?" Anna's heartbeat thundered in her chest. This was dangerous. If she answered wrong, he would know. If she answered right, she would lose herself completely. So she did the only thing she could. She lied. "No, Master Kim Jun. I do not feel." His expression didn't change, but something in his eyes flickered. Something dark, something disappointed. He took a step back. "Good," he said coldly, "because I don't need feelings getting in the way." And with that, he turned and walked away, leaving Anna alone with the truth she could never tell him. Because the truth was, she did feel, and it was already too late to stop.